Hey friend, so this year I am projected to make $300,000 before taxes. Let me start off by saying that it's not from my cleaning business. My cleaning business isn't even available to the public anymore. We'll get into that in a little bit. But I wouldn't be able to make the money that I'm making now if it weren't for my tiny little cleaning business. So let's jump into it. So I was a restaurant manager for a decade and I hated every moment of it. But I had never done anything else and I dropped out of high school my senior year. So I felt like that was all I could do. Let's jump to the summer of 2022. So my mom had just passed away. I was really struggling at work. And Hurricane Ian decided to tear off the roof of my apartment. I was unfortunately on the top floor. So my fiance and I had to move to Miami and use our savings. But we were only dating at the time for about 2 years. Not to a point that we were so broke that we did not know if we could even live together. While we're in Miami, I am working at a Chili's. Shout out to all my chili heads that are following me still. I love you guys. I miss you. Anyway, I am making $13 an hour as a to-go person. Broke. I couldn't even afford ramen most of the time because our tips were like, I don't know, $20 a day. I got a call from my man and he's like, why don't you finally start this cleaning business? Like, just do it. I took that and ran with it, honey. I did all of my research that same night. Actually, I did research for about 6 months before I even truly started my cleaning business. Anyway, we were going to be moving back to Fort Myers in about 6 months. So I had 6 months to really figure this out. That way, when we moved back, I could start my business. So during this time, I am doing all the research, literally reading scientific journals on how to clean properly. Because I realized real quick that as a small business owner, reputation is everything, and I was not about to screw up. After months and months of research, it was finally time for us to move back home. So it was time for my first cleaning, which was my very own move out. Girl, all I had were $20, which were my tips from Chili's, so I had to go to the Dollar Tree and get $20 worth of supplies and just do the best that I can. That went super well and I had a good time. We ended up moving back home. I'm working at a Dunkin' and my fiance ended up buying me my first stack of business cards. He's door dashing on the side and throwing my business card into every order. That is wrong, by the way. Please don't do that. You can get in trouble. But we didn't. Anyway, while working at Dunkin', I would wake up at 3 in the morning to open the Dunkin' at 4, clock out by noon, and then take like a 2-hour break and then start cleaning. I got my first client within a week or two of moving back, and that was an Airbnb. At the time, I didn't have money for like Angie's List or Bark or anything like that, so I was passing out business cards, so was my fiance, and then I would post a weekly ad on Craigslist. Those were $5, and so I would do that every Sunday. With that, I got my first few clients. Then I learned about Turno, which we are not Turno fans anymore because they charge way too much money. But that's how I ended up getting at least like 5 more Airbnb clients. So I was doing pretty good within my first 3 months. It was during that time that I ended up finding a creator that was local to my area on TikTok who was also a cleaning business owner, and I had questions. Unfortunately, which I kind of get, but whatever, they wanted to charge me per question, and I just didn't have the money for that. So that's when I decided to start filming the entire process and sharing all the tea right here on TikTok. And I shared the good, the bad, and the ugly. And before I knew it, I had 50,000 followers within like 2 months, and I was already monetized too. And then slowly but surely, the money really started flowing from social media. I started working with Scrub Daddy. I got a PR box from Clorox. It was all very fast, but it was amazing. First 3 months were pretty scary though, because I was working my full-time job and then I wasn't insured and I didn't even have an LLC. Slowly but surely within those 3 months, I saved up the money and I was able to get insured and file for an LLC. One day at Dunkin', in the middle of lunch rush, I ended up getting a call from a potential client. They needed an emergency deep clean because they were hosting a wedding at their house that weekend and the cleaning service that they were supposed to have just completely ghosted them. This was a Friday and the wedding was going to be on Sunday, so the cleaning had to happen on Saturday. It was kind of a problem because I had to work on Saturday. Thankfully, I ended up finding somebody to cover my shift, but my general manager was not happy about it. She pretty much said, like, it's not okay for you to take cleanings when you know you have to work. But like, bitch, I got my shift covered. What are you mad about? Anyway, she was super rude about it, so I ended up just quitting right then and there. All of a sudden, I didn't have like a secure paycheck to really count on. I had to go all in while not having a car for my cleaning business. When I tell you I was walking, I was running, I was taking the bus, I was Ubering, I was doing everything I possibly could. It was so scary, but honestly, it just worked out so perfectly. Anyway, my typical day during that time was pretty much wake up in the morning, go to my first cleaning, and then I would come back, take like an hour break, go to the second cleaning, and then I would come back, do everything else I had to do, and then work on content. It truly was a lot, but number one, I needed a car, and number two, I was never going to be broke again. That was what I told myself. So one of the main things that makes having a cleaning business a bit expensive is your supplies cost. The way that I worked around that was through my content. So I started working with brands which were starting to send me free product. I was able to upgrade my vacuum. Then I was able to upgrade my mop. Then all of a sudden I'm getting free all-purpose cleaners and floor cleaners and all that. So it helped me save a ton of money. And eventually I was able to buy a car. It wasn't the nicest car, but it would get me from point A to point B, and that's what mattered. Now I was able to spread my service area, which means I was able to take on more clients. But eventually I got super overworked and I ended up going from 2 houses a day to 1. My thought process with that is the money that I'm losing from that second house, I'll just make on social media, and I'm not going to be as tired and still make the same amount of money, if not even more. A year later, I was starting to get to the point where I was making more money from brand deals than I was through my cleaning business. Got to the point where I was like, crap, I can make $1,000 from this video, or I could just say no to that, go to my regular cleaning and make, I don't know, $150. I want to add that it was never my intention to have this cleaning business for life. Didn't care to hire employees. I don't trust people, so I knew that it would always be me. I saw my own grandparents and my parents clean for decades. As much as I respect the work and I genuinely enjoy it, I want to enjoy my life. I liked the little bit of freedom that I had finally tasted as a small business owner. So little by little, I started releasing my least favorite clients and then started putting that time into content. I would literally pull all-nighters on my days off and send mass emails to a whole bunch of brands just pitching myself. A couple months later, I negotiated a deal with Autobahn, so I was their new spokeswoman. Then I started negotiating deals with Bounty and Downy. Mr. Clean, I mean, the list goes on. It's crazy. Am I telling you all of this just to boast? No, I'm telling you that you can start a cleaning business and make enough money to get by, and that's okay. Thousands of cleaning business owners do that, and they have great lives. But there's some that decide to take the content route, which is what I decided to do. And there's others that start their own cleaning products, which works great too, but that's a ton of work, which is why I decided not to take that route. What am I doing now? I do free cleanings here and there, and the reason why I don't film them like everybody else does is because most of my free cleaning clients are cancer patients going into in-home hospice. So while they're not at the home because they're still at a facility, their family members are preparing the home while I'm cleaning it. There's just no way in hell that I could possibly film my content and still respect their privacy. And honestly, when my mom was dying, if somebody was filming like happy-go-lucky cleaning videos, I would have whooped their ass. So no, I'm not going to be that person. But today I had a cleaning that I could actually film and show you. What does my day-to-day life look like 3 years after starting a cleaning business? First thing I do every morning is I update all of my spreadsheets, which are pretty much my earnings for Amazon, Facebook, YouTube, all that. Then I update my Amazon storefront daily with all the best deals, and I share that on my stories. Then I film for about 45 minutes to an hour and a half, and then I just edit my content and post. And of course, if I have a free cleaning that day, then usually I am not able to do any of that, and I just try to do whatever I can after I get home. So I have a pretty good life, and I'm so proud of it because it took a lot of work to get here. Biggest pieces of advice if you do want to start your own cleaning business is please do the research. Know how to do the job properly. You're going to see a lot of videos online that tell you, oh, get 2 houses per day, charge $400, hire people to clean them for you. No, it's not that easy. Not only is it difficult to hire employees, and I use that mindset from when I was a restaurant manager, you actually want to know how to do the job. If you're going to hire someone to do it, it'll make you a better boss because you'll know what you're putting them through every day. And if your employees don't show up, well, guess what? It's on you to show up, and you need to know how to get the job done. Doing the job right also gives you the benefit of word of mouth. Once you have that first client, do your very best for them, and they're going to tell everyone and their mama about you. Don't get me wrong, it's really difficult to find clients in the beginning, but I don't believe it when people tell me 2 years later I'm still having a hard time finding clients. I believe it, but I also believe that they're doing something wrong that's causing that. Your research, do your best, and truly try to be the best. Also, make sure that you network with your competitors. I don't even see the other house cleaners in my area as my competitors because most of them are my friends. For example, if I was too busy for a move-out clean, I would hand it over to one of my friends and they would take it over. Someone reached out that wasn't in their service area, but they knew that this person was in mine, they would send them to me. Those are some of the best friends I've ever made. And when I tell you to do your research, I don't mean just do the bare minimum or just do enough to get by. I made it my mission to become an expert in my field. Whenever potential clients were looking for a cleaner on Facebook groups or something, do you think they're going to pick somebody with a rinky-dink little business card that they posted in the comments? Or are they going to go for the CNN cleaning expert, which was moi? You're damn right, they went with me. It's all about using your time wisely. My free time was spent on research or on content, and the rest of the time I was working my ass off cleaning somebody's dookie stains. And all of that is what led me here. I know this industry feels really saturated right now, and it is, but there's more than enough houses and more than enough money to go around. I promise you, if you do your best and you try to be the best, you're going to be successful. I know that people see that things happened very fast for me, and I know it looks that way because it was maybe a year before things started really turning around for me, but it took a lot of work. If you're broke right now or you've just been debating on starting a cleaning business, make sure you check the link in my bio because I have a free cleaning business guide with all the templates and even like a pricing calculator, just all the information you could possibly need. I mean, it's over 250 pages. It's always going to be there. It's always going to be free, so check it out anytime. Pretty please follow my socials because the money that I make from here is how I'm able to make everything free for you guys. Y'all are the very best. Thank you so much. Okay, I love you. Bye.